Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast. I'm Amy Sikarskie, and I'm so happy to be here with you. It's been a little bit. The spring, oh my gosh, we're heading into summer, and it's been so full of life. So I was like wanting to pop on. I'm just feeling the energy today. And I wanted to give some updates just to chat and see what comes through. So I'm here in Arkansas now, and it's been quite an experience to get my grounding and integrate and feel like I've got everything, organized in my home and in my life and in my energy. And one thing that I've been really enjoying is going up to the mountain where they have crystal mines and digging for crystals. It's been so healing and so therapeutic. And then you come home with these beautiful quartz crystals. Um, I feel like spirit's really supporting me. And I just wanted to talk about how at times we can feel lost or like what's going on. And I feel that because there's so much movement on earth, and many of us, our lives are also defined by, in a sense, that our path is often influenced by, we'll say influenced by, therefore it can change based on those that are in our life. So, navigating the future, and what does that mean? Can hold so many different points of view and perspectives. And in this moment, I am taking it day by day, letting spirit lead the way. And I knew we were going to move, and I knew we would be in a new phase. We're empty nesters now. And that's been a nice, interesting transition. But also then to move to a whole other state with different energy in a home for those who are so sensitive. And I'm clairtangent, so I feel energy physically. Finding that comfort in your own home. Um, when you leave a space, you then have to bring your energy into the new place. And it's like a dedication every day, a conscious intention to have it feel like home. And there are many ways that we do that in our culture. And there's many ways that it can be looked upon from a spiritual angle. But I'm just trying to look at it from every angle. And I feel like I'm slowly but surely making progress. So when I think about life and for all of us, how we can have transitions, even the ones we knew were coming, we can prepare so much. And then we find ourselves in the experience. And for myself, what has helped me is close friends and family. So support in the physical world, therapy sessions, support in that way has been super beneficial, in addition to staying connected with spirit, tuning in with guides and angels for support, but also not just expecting them to make it perfect or do all the work or explain everything to me. I so much like still, and it should be this way, have had to take the emotional experiences and the mental fatigue and stress and look at all of those from Amy's perspective and how do I want to move through life. So I share this with you because there's been so many shifts and up levels, and it's real. Like this is real. And I don't ever want to discount the physical world. So within that experience, I've switched my schedule a little bit of how available I am for sessions. And that even kind of messed with me. I knew I needed to, but then this part of me is like, well, I really want to help people. Um, but I have to pace myself. And so to then help me feel like, okay, there's other ways. I've been offering in person group sessions. I have been doing some social, and I've been a guest on some summits. So I feel like if we pace ourselves and recognize that everything happens in a season, then we don't have to get too worked up about our spiritual like journey. Are we in our life mission? And so that's one thing I want to talk about today is what does it mean to integrate your life mission and what I've come to discover through experience. Now, I am saying these words and it's like, oh, we know this, but it hits different when you are living it, when you're in the experience and you choose to consciously live it. Is that life happens and we can focus our energy in any point. And if I'm pulling my energy to be focused on myself for a short period of time, that is okay. It's not going to take away from what I can share with others. And so I'm sharing this for all the moms out there, all the friends, all the healers who might need to take a moment to slow down a little bit or put a pause and take care of themselves, whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually, or in your business. Um, our culture seems to be one, at least in my experience, of fast paced, looking at the next goal. How do we get to the goal? How do we get to the end? And it has been in the past very masculine, like dominated. The way that it is very direct and it feels militant in a sense. And there's ways to bring grace and there's ways to bring femininity and the flow within it. But when I am called to step back and not have these things on my schedule at all, then it leaves us sometimes feeling a little bit displaced or confused. And that's where I had been for a little bit of time, although I knew I needed that space. So there's been so many messages that it's coming through of trust and grace. And there was a period of time in the month of April where I was like, let me bring a message through for the collective. And so if y'all aren't following me on Instagram, that's the platform I'm on the most. So I would post like a message of the day. And every time I tuned in, it was the same message. So I didn't post it on repeat, but the message was trust, trusting in ourself, trusting in the process, trusting in spirit. And what spirit's reminding is when these moments come where things are shaken up and we can't really see so far into the future because maybe we don't even know what we want. Um, they want us to know that it's all going to work out and to trust in ourself and to trust in the divine flow and guidance. So when we can connect with ourselves and when we stay present with our energy, how do we feel that day? And just taking the temperature of the space that we're in or taking the temperature of, our physical or emotional bodies, then we can know that we're clear and strong. And if not, we can understand what's off to correct it. That is like a step one, because then if we get a message of action, we're going to know. And we don't have to sit and ask or second guess ourselves when we're called to slow down a little bit. I hope this is all making sense, but I think it is because I feel like we need to hear this. I know I needed to hear this. And even speaking it out loud, I'm like, my body, my cells need to hear this. So, two things I want to share. One, I've absolutely been so like amazed, and I was not expecting my scenery outside, the natural aspect of it. We have birds, you guys. I found one of the best bird apps. It's the Merlin one, and I tested many. This one does the job. The other ones were like, oh, we can't hear the bird. I'm like, it's right here. But the Merlin app can hear all the birds. And the other day I had it playing, and we have, I think it was 8 to 10 different birds in our backyard. And it's legit. And I've seen many of them. And then all of a sudden, like, of course, how the algorithm works, or I don't know, spirit maybe, but I think it was AI. I get all of these posts on Insta about birds and nature, and it was great because I appreciated it how the birds really soothe the nervous system, which led me into I need to work with my nervous system. And last year was such an ongoing, in fact, I would say from the second half of 2022 all through 2023. And here we are, has been an ongoing time for me of go, go, go that ended up building into fight or flight energies and responses. And so now to like slowly put the brakes and say, I don't have to do 15 things on my list of to dos today or even this week. I can, allow myself hours to sit outside and listen to the birds or whatever it might be. That's just as important. And I wasn't giving myself enough time and now that I think about it, it's like respect, right? Care as I probably could have. And so now we are. And that's a strong message again, they're saying for all of the caretakers. And when they say that, I saw parents and I saw women and men who were taking care of their parents. And I'm seeing teachers and therapists and medical professionals, caretakers. Even if you're an artist, you are bringing through healing through your art that is assisting others. And that is a form of caretaking, I'm going to say, because that's what I'm feeling. I'm seeing it. So if you're here and you're feeling like your passion in life and who you, like what you resonate with is an aspect of how you show up for others as a caretaker, please know that you can take care of yourself and that we should. This is a definite season of experience. Now, we had the eclipse and we've had some other energetic up levels and shaking of, I would say, foundations that have brought through a lot of emotions. And in the readings that I've done, I've seen a lot of themes. So as you've been going through this, please just know that you're seen, you're loved. If it feels really hard, you're not in it alone. And they're asking you to call on your team and spirit. And if this is new for you, pray and give gratitude and thank them for being there. You don't really want to pray with the approach of victim, like, woe is me, they never show up. It's like, how about, I would love for you to be here. Please show me how to manage and work through this. Please bring guidance and gifts and resources. And then hold the love in your heart, the prayer in your heart, and relax and let it out to your God, to your guides, to the universe. So, first is, prayer through prayer of the heart space, being open to experiences. And then, secondly, they keep showing me oracle cards. So, if you're looking for specific messages, dive into those oracle cards, friends. I have gone through many seasons of like oracle card use, and then no, I don't feel drawn right now. And then, yeah, let me pull a card. So there's a message here if you've been thinking about oracle cards. Yeah, please do. Please do. Um, the other theme that was coming up is this. They're calling it a spiritual truth or a spiritual law. And I've seen this on repeat of vocalizing what's happening to call it out. So, talk therapy has been beneficial for many and also for others, not so beneficial. And there's a lot to that. But I know it can be beneficial in many ways. And what I'm going to speak about is one way. Also, this can be a way in which you're communicating with a friend or somebody just in conversation or journaling it out. And this is when things might feel muddy and we're looking for clarification. So if you're intuitive and you're like, something feels off, but I don't know what it is, just calling that out and say, something's off. it kind of stops the energy of chaos, and it stops if there are any external outside forces that are around. And so, also getting clarity when you speak about your emotions helps you to organize the information within your energetic field and get clarity in your mental body and emotional body. So, communication is super important. And we have multiple forms of communication, but the guides recently, for the past few months, have really been talking about the significant importance of vocalization with your voice. Now, we've talked in the past about light language, but this is a little different where they're going. This is in the spoken language that you and others understand cognitively, and that you can very precise with elegance and grace put into words how you are feeling, what you are noticing, what you are experiencing. And also, when we do so without a judgment of anybody being better than anyone else. So, if you're in a situation that doesn't sit correctly with you, it doesn't feel quite right, you can speak it out. And clairvoyantly, I've seen the energy move around and realign. And then it's like, okay, well, all I really needed to do was to honor and recognize that something doesn't sit right with me in this. I'm not sure exactly what or how I'm going to move forward, but just saying that right there helps to reestablish a fluidity and an alignment for you to move the energy around and to move it out or back into alignment. So, um, I hope that makes sense. One thing that came up, well, many times actually, and in conversations with friends recently, is I'll say that it came up from many different experiences, but the consistent theme was when you call it out, it cannot hide. So if somebody is being malicious or um, manipulative or oh gosh, there's so many words I can use here. Basically, they're not working in the light or truth, and they're trying to scam or be shady or hide things that is detrimental to themselves or others. And you see it and you call it out. If it is something that has been influenced by an external energy, it will stop. I just have noticed that. And the guides are saying the more that you are aligned with the angelic realm and the light, then the stronger and the faster it will cease. So, in my line of work, I'm aware of all kinds of energies and frequencies and dimensions. And because of that, and the awareness of my own energy, if somebody comes around and something feels off, at times I will recognize that this isn't their own soul. This isn't their own thoughts or words or actions, that they're being influenced by an outside source. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. So, there have been outside sources that will try and be really shady and do things behind the scenes. But when somebody that has the spirit of discernment and works with light beings like ascended masters, that work straight with God, with Jesus, with the archangels, somebody who can have that connection without any questioning. They see something off putting or out of alignment. And if it's an entity or an energy trying to work through somebody and they see it and they state it, it's like game over. You've been called out. And so the game over is, what are they looking to do? Or how would that energy be influencing you or those that you loved? And so I know, I hope this makes sense, but I can't get into specifics because it's not all my story to tell. But I've seen this, and I've had many sessions lately where people were sharing with me that they would feel energy come around. And this can be if you are sensitive and empathic and impressionable, if you're a healer or a reader, then you're sensitive and you might feel an emotion or have thoughts come through. And so all we really need to do is to say, is that mine or is it not? It is not. We'll say, okay, it's not. So then we call it out and we say, this is not mine. I am not participating. I'm going to ask you to leave if it's a spirit, or if it's a programmed frequency, we can just say stop, freeze, disassemble, disintegrate, disengage, clear it all out, maybe use a sound tool, a mantra, and call in, the light. And so this message, I hope, makes sense because it can be used in so many different ways. And basically, it's if something feels that it is being influenced by a darker energy, meaning an entity, or a thought form or a program, and somebody who is working with the light sees it and vocalizes it and says, I see this is happening, and we call it out and then call on a higher power, it will stop. So it will disengage from you. And if it is something, in fact, I would just say that's all that you need to do for what you are called to do. If that is bothering others and it's on the grand scale, you just need to know what is your battle and what is not. And you're protecting you and your immediate family and inner circle first. And then you could say a prayer for the angels to help clear it off the planet. But there has been so much energy kicked up lately of our own our own healing, our own thoughts, our own emotions, that external frequencies coming in isn't helping at all. It's actually making it more confusing. So they're talking now about how can we govern and regulate if we're feeling totally out of sorts, confused, and emotionally distraught. They just show us so many things that are incorporating physicality, walking, exercising, swimming. And I'm seeing the meditation, but with sound mantras that vocally move and shake the body, that vibrate the body. So toning, singing long syllables of mantras to get the energy out of the system. First, it's like, okay, stop the energy where it's at. And then let's start clearing out what isn't there. And then what is there, we will say, where did this come from? These are my emotions. Let me talk them through to get clarity. But at any time, if we can see, oh, something was trying to bring me down, and it was, I'm seeing things, I'm being shown things from a negative perspective that is disempowering. You can know that that is not from God, and that is not from your team, and that is not from yourself, your higher self, because we are here to be successful. We pick these lives, we pick these missions to come into, even though they can be really hard. Um, Knowing that we have support, and our support team is not going to talk nasty to us and put us down. Our guides and angels might call us out and say, yeah, okay, let's do better next time. Or do you really want to do that? But they're not going to put us down and have us feeling like there's no hope. Um, so this is something that came up many times that I wanted to share. And that is that recognizing where your power lies. Do not give the outside frequencies power over your life, or let it lead or steer your ship. You have control. And once you get the understanding of what's happening, you're going to feel so much more present, so strong, and um, of value, I'm hearing, and of worth. So we have a lot of verbiage, we have a lot of experiences, we have a lot of words that we talk about in the spiritual community. And one of those is the dark night of the soul. That's not what we're really talking about, but it can be an aspect of it. And they are sharing with me that many have recently gone through that, and some of us will be soon again soon. So, honoring the self, providing comfort, kindness, compassion, and kind words are appropriate. And let me recap what they wanted to highlight today. So, trusting yourself, staying in connection with spirit through the ups and the downs, the ins and the outs of emotion and energy and frequency, and knowing you're here supported, not pressuring or putting a lot of stress on yourself that we have to maintain or live up to some silly ideas and notions or standards of others, that we really need to go back into the natural flow of things and listen to our heart and our own divine blueprint, our own divine path. And that's going to be different for everybody. That it's okay that we take a break. And in fact, breaks and rest are important for us. And then also that if we see anything that's off putting or unsettling, not to be quiet and just let it sit and fester, that we call it out. Now, you can take that any way that you want, but you need to make sure, I would say, so that you're not just wasting your energy, that this is an appropriate response for the situation. Okay. So if you're screaming on the rooftop about things that are going on in the world, there's better ways to address that. Everybody should know already that this is going on. So action items for correction would be the best bet. But if you see things festering up, or you see a friend that's being manipulated, or somebody trying to manipulate somebody, then you can call it out and make sure that you're in a safe place. God and spirit, they are very aware of the physical reality and the spiritual reality. So if you're not feeling that it will be safe in the physical reality, you can call it out in the spirit world and bring the angels in and ask them to assist. Give it over. This is when I say, like, give it over to God. You can also give it over to the angels and say, whatever that is, something is definitely running amok, and please come in and assist us so that it can be a fair playing ground here on the earth plane. Because earth is for contrast, it is for experience, but we create enough as humans, confusion and drama, that some of the energies that are here, it's like almost an uneven playing field in times, or those entities don't even belong on the earth plane in our dimension. And that is where the angels will come in and reset. It's like resetting that game, resetting reality. So, yeah, guys, oh my gosh, I just wanted to pop on and see what came through. And so I have some stuff coming up this summer, but I've been offering month, or I'm sorry. Okay. Well, we do offer monthly energy sessions at Spirit School online.com. And then I offer once a week, I work with the public for private sessions. And then I'm always offering classes, and I'm offering mentoring for those students that take the classes. And we have the Sacred Healer Circle. And so I'm opening up for 3 more spaces starting in July. And the Sacred Healer Circle is for those who want to understand energy more, or have assistance in their spiritual practice and modalities and in their business practice. We have talked about all of everything. Last month, we talked about Marcel Vogel's technology. I did a little mini class for the Sacred Healer Circle on crystal release technology. And then we had some demonstrations. This membership gives you one-on-ones with me, and then 2 group calls every month. And it's been so beautiful to feel the love and the support amongst the group. And by the way, this is a small, intimate experience. So you're going to feel seen, heard, and have like support. It's not a big group experience by any means. And so I'm really grateful for the opportunity to support and mentor. And I share more in there than I've ever shared anywhere, like personal stuff, tips and tricks, anything related to a spiritual practice, as far as the way you structure your business, how you show up on social, or the modalities and the intricacies of the different forms of healing work, plus your own self care. So it is very much led by spirit. It's been a joy and such a gift. So if you're a healer, or a student of the healing arts that's really taking it serious, and it's not just a fluffy pastime, but you want to learn, you want to heal yourself, you want to be dedicated, and have support, then I invite you to apply. Let me know a little bit about yourself. Let's see if it's a great match, because I have 3 openings coming up next month, and would love for those that are feeling called to join. So thanks so much, guys. I've been digging those crystals on the mountain. I've been giving a lot of them away in stories on Instagram. So again, you can find me there at Amy Sikarskie. And then for the podcast, it's Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast on Instagram. But I'll put the links below. And so I'll be cleaning some more crystals and giving some more out. And you could just check stories or story highlights for that. It's been such a gift. I was like, I brought home so many crystals, and the big ones are a little challenging to mail. They're heavy. Like some of the bigger pieces are the size of a volleyball or a basketball, and they're not one point, it's a cluster. And they're so cool to see the dimensionality of it and how they form. But then I have a lot of other medium to smaller clusters that would be more appropriate to mill out and easier. So I'm in the process of cleaning them, of cleaning the clay off of them, the sandstone, and just getting them really sparkling and shining. So I would love to share with you guys. And yeah, all right. I hope you're having a great day. I hope this inspired you. I hope there's something here that you felt at this time and place was supportive. And I want to thank all of you who text me and email and message about how the podcast has supported you, because a lot of the information that I share is timeless, and I keep it up even if I've been silent for some time, especially on a solo cast. And I just want to share with you guys that I also appreciate when you give me feedback. So if you're listening here, 5 stars would be awesome. A thumbs up on YouTube if you're on YouTube, like leave a comment. That would be so appreciated. And also on July 31st, I'll be back in Pottstown, Pennsylvania for a night with Spirit. And so that'll be my 4th one, which has been really fun to meet you guys in person. And in that experience, I bring through messages that are more of the psychic impressions, the clairvoyant visions, your soul origin or path. And I can also answer questions. And Nicole will bring through psychic messages as well, everything I just shared, and she'll flow into more of the mediumship. And so, yeah, we'll be there. And if you're around, we'd love to meet you. So, have a great day, beautiful friends. And I'll pop back on again when I feel inspired. Until then, I'd love to connect with you over on Instagram. We'll see you soon. Bye.